Hey guys,
Welcome back to another episode of Pew Time with Tony.
and Jackie.
How's it going?
Hey.
Hi.
Look at how consecutive we are.
We're getting good.
Yeah.
All right. I want to jump off with some gun news that I found. Apparently this happened towards the beginning of the month, but it was kind of interesting. A rifle, which belonged to Annie Oakley, for those of you that don't know, I would be shocked, 19th century American sharpshooter. And anytime a girl shoots well, you'll hear any of the old timers go, "Oh, regular old Annie Oakley, aren't you?" One of her guns went up for auction. And I found this article, I don't know where it came up on my feed, but it was from the BBC. And it was a George Henry Daw 408 pinfire smoothbore target rifle. Original factory engraving. It was cut down to suit the smaller stature of Annie. And according to the auction house, was profusely engraved with references to Oakley. Here's a little trivia. Oakley was given the nickname Watanya Cecilia by her native, I hope I said that right, by her Native American counterpart, Sitting Bull, which translates to Little Sure Shot.
Love it.
Yeah. Both names are engraved on either side of the gun, along with her stage name, Rifle Queen, on the butt plate. One of the most minute details can be seen when holding the gun viewing down the sights, on which the words "never miss" are engraved.
That's cool.
Yeah. The gun also came with its original mahogany carrying case with a brass plaque on the front that read Rifle Queen, centered in the initials AO. And also, apparently, this George dude supplied shotguns and rifles to a ton of, like, substantially important higher up people, such as Queen Victoria, Prince Albert. So the auction house has been putting a lot of work into it. Also, ironically, this gun went up for auction on the 99th anniversary of Annie Oakley's death.
Wow. What a tribute.
Yeah, if it would have sold. The final offer was 19,000 pounds and was not sold because it did not meet the reserve.
Do you remember when you figured out like what that translates to in US dollars, what that ran out to roughly?
I'm gonna
I
do
remember we talked about it and it was like completely astronomical.
No, it's not that bad. No, if it's 19,000 pounds, I'm guessing I'm gonna do the math. I'm doing it right in front of you. I'm gonna guess it's gonna be like $27,000. Is my guess. Ooh, it's close.
Oh yeah, 24.9.
Yeah.
So 24.9 is the final bid that we saw on it. But
Yeah,
it was not
it
enough
was
to
not
make the
enough.
reserve.
Nope.
I do wonder what the reserve was.
You know, I think it's not just the gun industry. I'm seeing it across like watches, cars. Like right now, you can get Ford Model Ts, Model As. You can even get like 34 Fords for ridiculously cheap compared to what they were. Watches like uh God, I'm drawing a blank on his name right now. Dean Martin, or not Dean Martin. Uh Man,
Higher end watches.
not a higher end watch. He died. Damn, James Dean. There we go. I knew it
Yeah,
would come to me.
the dean was there.
Yeah, yeah. Um, like some of his watches or his car, like that allure of, because he wasn't an icon to the newer generation like he was to like our parents.
Mm-hmm.
His watch, his like Rolex, all these famous guys from way back when, their watches sold for a ton of money, and now it's like they're not. No one's even looking for them.
Mm-hmm.
Like they don't want them. They have no value. Doesn't add anything extra to them. And unfortunately, I think it's going to be the same thing with like this. You know, it's not talked about enough.
Yep.
And I think that's the shame. I know we're supposed to push forward in technology, but it's also important to know like the stuff, especially
Where we came from.
the gun stuff, right? Because it's still, in compared to everything, still fairly new.
Yeah. Oh, do you think that like some of the decrease across we were talking about like the generational like like those people were important to our parents in that generation. So the boomers were the baby boomers, that was their icon. You know, it was someone they looked for, so that held more value. Now those baby boomers are reaching retirement age. They're not out spending the money like our generation is. So our generation is spending money on things that are important to us. Older generation things are losing value if they weren't passed down.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure that's what it is. I mean, the car thing, there's a swath. It's like every 30, 40 years, and it's cars you saw growing up. You finally get money to buy the cars that you wanted when you were a kid, and it's
Yeah.
kind of just a moving window.
Mm-hmm.
But it's interesting with guns, especially with someone that's such like a historical figure. I would love to know what the reserve was. Like, what was the number?
Mm-hmm.
If 19 wasn't that, what was it?
Right. Yeah. Quite a bit.
Speaking of reserve,
Oh, that's a good segue.
huh?
That's very good.
Hey.
Sig has dropped another version of their SX of their reserve. This is their SXG, which is steel.
Of the P320, not the 226.
Yes, because that one has already been out.
Right.
So now they have a steel version of the 320 Reserve.
Because they have the aluminum version too,
Mhm.
right? That
Yeah.
came out first. So they're still releasing 320 stuff.
Shocking.
It's a bold move.
It is a bold move, Cotton.
Speaking of bold moves, I did not expect this from Henry.
This is really cool.
Yeah. It is called the Henry SPD Cruiser. And that actually stands for something.
Go on.
That stands for Special Products Division Compact Rugged Ultralight Suppressor Ready Rifle. I love acronyms.
It's a bit much.
That's good.
And it's a lot.
That's good.
Yeah.
So this thing is unlike any Henry you've seen. If you thought Henry putting an M-lock little slot on their, what do they call those things? They're like the blacked
The
out
X.
ones. Yeah, the X. If you thought that was wild, boy. So this is in 4570, 4+1, 16.5-inch threaded barrel that is carbon wrapped. Steel core, carbon wrapped barrel, integrated pick rail on the receiver. The fore end is a beautifully Cerakoted bronze M-lock rail section, or M-lock fore end. Polystock, $2,500. This gun is awesome looking.
Yeah.
And I have to be honest, in a world, not saying they're not good, because I've messed with them and they're really nice quality. In a world where Smith & Wesson sells a lever action, and it's how much? $2,500 for their base one?
Oh no, their bases are like 12, 13.
Okay. 15? Be safe?
15 would be safe,
Okay.
yeah.
$1,000 more, which, if you've ever priced out a carbon fiber barrel on anything,
Expensive.
it's very expensive. Yeah, this is pretty cool. I can't imagine the recoil, but this is one where I'm like, wow, instead of trying to build one, that is right up there with like, I'll just buy that one.
Yeah, it is very cool. I can't imagine like how light it probably is. Which the downside to that, right? Polymer stock and a carbon wrap barrel on a 4570. Hold on. Hold on
Yeah.
tight.
Here's the thing, I don't think it's going to feel any worse than if you shot like a 12 gauge, like with like the Sabot rounds.
Mhm.
It's not gonna feel any worse than that.
Potentially. I don't know. It
It's gonna be way lighter.
isn't messing around.
It's a rifle I wouldn't mind lugging through the woods.
Yeah.
So it's I'm nailing these segues because while on the subject of lever actions,
Woox has come out with some furniture called the Bravado.
yes,
It is lever action furniture for the Henry and the Marlin. It's a mix of polymer and wood with adjustable sleek riser and M-lock slots with sling QD pockets, which is fantastic, especially since that's something we currently are battling with is sling point attachments for things.
yeah, it's good looking.
So the ironic part about this, I love the Woox furniture that we have for the 590S. Absolutely love it. And the next gun we discussed about me getting happens to also be a lever action.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm pretty sure I already have my next gun picked out.
Yeah. If you guys have seen our 590, we've put a few pictures of it up. I'll put another picture of it up. The stock is beautiful. It adds just enough functionality. And we're lucky enough to work with Woox, and they actually gave us a code for you guys that support us to be able to save money. So laugh and load 10 saves you 10%. So the full thing, no spaces, laugh the letter N, load 10, save you some money on some sexy Italian wood furniture for your shotgun lever action precision rifle 22. And they also have the boss ass furniture for like the shockwaves if you have one of those.
Yeah, the texturing on those is just amazing. Like wood with texture. Fantastic.
Yeah. So check them out.
Next up, the Smith & Wesson X, Shield X Carry Comp is now available, which I think we talked about.
I think you called it. You said this is coming out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We went to the Monsoon Demo Day,
Mm-hmm.
and they had done their chunk port on a Shield X.
Yeah.
And everyone was like, "Oh, this is really, really nice." And I'm like, I give it a month max.
Yeah.
Within 1 month. And today is the 19th of November. And we went to demo day on the 18th of October. This gun's been available for about a week and a half.
Yeah.
So 2.5 weeks after I called it, they dropped it, and it's available in stores now. The MSRP is at $700. So good job, Monsoon, for beating him to the punch,
Of course.
as always.
Of course. I do find it interesting that no one's really talking about the X.
Yeah, I sell probably 5 or 6 shields to every 1X that someone asks to look at.
Yeah, it's interesting. I would have assumed that it would have maybe pulled at least some people away from like the 43X 48 market,
Mhm.
given that now it actually has the same grip size without like mag fillers.
Mhm.
It's not that it's not a good gun. Right, thing shot great. Yeah, I don't know. That one's a weird one for me. I thought they would have sold more.
I just think that if someone wants something that is bigger, they'll buy the Glock.
But I'm saying
And
for
if they
people
want
that can't,
something that,
like, if they physically can't have because of like hand size, I don't know. I just thought for the smaller person, it would be, I would choose that over a 48.
well, think about it this way. If you were to have the 15 round mag in the regular shield, it's something that you would be able to conceal, grab hold of. The 15 fits good in your hand. You could get away with the 13.
Yeah.
If you were going to pocket carry, wouldn't it be nice to have the 10?
No, I agree with that. But I'm saying for people that are buying it, like the 43X 48, is it just the Glock people that want it? Or is it legitimately people that are like, oh yeah, I would carry that, when realistically, like, top to bottom size, it's the same as a 19.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't understand why people, no, it conceals great. old is your 19?
Right. Width on the width on the 19, I think, is where a lot of people they see the height difference, the height being the same, and they look at the thickness and they're like, well, instead of getting 15 rounds in an OEM mag, I could get 10, and the nose isn't as long, so appendix carry, and then they toss around the idea over and over again. I sell far less 48s because anybody who looks at a 48 just buys a 19.
Yeah, okay. So maybe the 48 and the Shield X are kind of the
Misfit.
two peas in a pod that
Yeah.
share the same drowning canoe.
Yes. That would be my guess.
Oh, did it again. Shit. Speaking of Glock. So, Glock, a week ago, finally released their Series V or V Series. What are they calling it?
Model V.
Model V. That's right. To appease the crazy states like California, and I forgot what the other one was.
East Coast
Yeah,
somewhere.
somewhere in the
Jersey,
East Coast.
maybe.
And they changed a couple things, backplate, rear slide, to to basically make it
Unswitchable.
to not switch it to switches, to switch it unswitchable.
To make it unswitchable.
Yes. So people couldn't run around and put switches to turn them into machine pistols.
Mm-hmm.
That was last week. I think we talked about it.
Yeah.
They told everyone it was about 3 weeks ago. But last week is the week that they actually got in stores.
Yeah. The 19V and the 17V are the only two that I've seen so far.
Right. Well, less than a week later, here we are. And there are people that have already made switches for the Model V.
Yep. Bravo.
This should tell everyone that original lawsuit and it's amazing to me.
When there's a will, there's a way.
Yeah, it's amazing to me that this lawsuit went through.
Yeah. Yeah, it should have never happened. And Glock did what, any good little boy should do. Comply.
Well, they fought.
Yeah.
I mean, they fought their ass off and they lost a shit ton of money.
Look at how long that line has been in production for 40 years. 39 in the US. Like 1986 forward. They never changed anything on how their internals work. Ever. None of their designs have changed until now. And less than 1 week after they're made available to the public, all those changes mean absolutely nothing.
Yeah, don't get it twisted. I mean, Glock didn't just roll over and comply. It was fought in court over and over and
Training
over.
them bits by bits.
Right. And they finally said, all right, well, we'll just do this. I mean, do you guys really think Glock wanted to go, hey, let's produce and put out for sale a slightly different variation of our Gen 5, even though they're working on a Gen 6?
Right.
Like, they didn't want to do this.
Right. Yeah, they've been working on the Gen 6 for quite some time. I remember the original patent filing.
Right. Yeah.
Leaks came out in the early spring, February, March last year.
Right.
So it's been almost a whole year they've been working on this, and they had to completely revert and switch gears to do something else because of all the lawsuits.
Right.
That's shitty.
Some would say it's very mean of those states.
Yes, very mean. Good segue.
Of what?
The Mean Arms Maul.
Oh, yeah. The what? Meow?
Did you say
Meow?
meow, son?
Right, meow? No, someone messed up the segue. But speaking of mean, I got a chance to shoot the Mean Arms Maul.
That's what I said.
I said meow.
Mm.
Go back, it's recorded. I'm not editing it. Meow.
Meow.
Yeah, mean meow. Meow. Anyway, this is the new hotness when it comes to PCC. And I know everyone says that every time a new PCC comes out. I'm telling you right now, this gun is it. This gun, on paper, you're going to be like, oh yeah, well, they just took old technology. And here's the old technology they took. It is, I don't remember what they call it. I have it. There's a full review coming out of it. If you want to know the actual intricate details, go to our YouTube channel. I'll make an announcement when it's live. Roller. So it's like, so the MP5 is roller delayed blowback.
Mm-hmm.
This is like that, but it's not called roller delayed. It is some special name. But the complete gun is called the Maul, which is what I shot.
Like Darth Maul?
Yes. And it is, without tongue-in-cheek, without over-exaggerating, it is the flattest, softest recoiling PCC I've ever shot.
It's impressive because you shot
Period.
quite a few.
Yeah. Bearing delayed is what they call theirs.
Mm-hmm.
So, instead of using rollers like an MP5, they use bearings, which are adjustable on their BCG, which is ridiculously light. I think it's like 9 ounces. Stupid light. It is cheating how little this gun moves. And I shot this gun back to back with a very old school PCC build. Actually, our buddy Roberts, his Millsport 9 AR, which is basically, trying to think if he's done anything to it. It has a Techwell Magwell and the 510C. That's it. So it's very stock. That's one of the few guns that you can almost feel like barrel whip on. It's
Mm-hmm.
very weird. It's got a lot of recoil to it. The gun itself is heavy. And then I also shot the Terran Tactical PCC. I don't remember their name after it. It's whatever it is, it's their 9 PCC.
Mm-hmm.
Much lighter than the Millsport. Little heavier than the Mean Arms. Now that's going to be important. The Millsport recoils less to me than the Terran
Because of the heft and weight, you think?
because of the weight.
Right.
The Mean Arms recoils less than all of them,
And it's the lightest.
and it's the lightest.
Impressive.
Now the Terran and the Mean both have comps on them. The Millsport just has a birdcage. The only downfall of when I tested this Mean Arms, the person that let me test it must have been very small in stature, because they had a very low red dot and the cheek riser pretty high. So no matter how much I smashed my face down, the most I could get was the upper third of the red dot window. So I couldn't really like shoulder it and start running gunning with it, because there's just no way.
Mm-hmm.
But I could still shoot it and kind of get an idea of like recoil impulse. Yeah, this gun is changing the game. And they've changed it in more than one way. I'll get to the other way in a second. So this upper is not cheap. It's $1,500. I think it's $2,500 for like the complete upper. So that would be like their BCG, the handguard, your complete upper, comp and all. And then you use whatever lower. So you can use either a Glock lower or a standard mil-spec AR lower. Well, how the hell can you use a mil-spec AR lower for something that's 9?
They make those conversion sleeves for the Glock mags.
They do, but they suck. They're not really like, if it's a range toy, cool. If it's a competition thing, not cool. And they have had conversions for like PMags. They're really not that reliable. Until now. So they make 2 products as well. One called the Exomag, which is a standalone 9mm mag that dimensionally is the same shape as an AR mag. But they only use the back half of the mag. It honestly looks like a Scorpion mag in the back half.
Oh, nice.
And the front is skeletonized up to the top, and on the top, it's actually funneled and shaped like a feed ramp.
Oh, that's really neat.
Right. It's super easy to load. I didn't have a single malfunction, and those are the only mags that I use for the Mean Arms. Not a single malfunction at all. They make 10, 15, 20, 32, and 40 rounders.
How expensive are those mags?
$35.
Wow. So the same price as...
Like a PMag. Well,
Yeah.
they're a little more. Double the price of a PMag.
Right.
Same price as a Glock mag.
Right.
I mean, what's a Glock 30 rounder going for now? $50?
Probably.
$60? Something like that?
Yeah.
So that is their Exo mag. They also, now I haven't tried this one, they also make a product called the Endo mag, which is take the Exo technology and they sell a kit to turn a regular ARP mag into their 9mm mag.
Oh, that's fantastic.
And they call that the Endo mag because it's
Inside. Right. Like exoskeleton.
Right.
For the outside. That's very smart.
And those are going for about $45. You pay a little bit more, but you know, it is what it is.
So we just gut the PMag and insert this sleeve into the inside, and now you have a 9mm mag inside of your PMag. Yep. That's fantastic.
Now I would like to try one of those later, because I've tried, I believe CMMG made one, and it wasn't that good. Now, granted, I didn't try the CMMG mag with their CMMG upper. I tried it with some other one, and it didn't work very well. The Endo mags, I'm sorry, they're about $30. Now, you do have to pick whether or not you use an ejector with the Endo mag, but they have them either way. So, the gun, stupid light. When I tell you, and I had other people shoot it because I love when people complain, like when I shoot a gun and there's recoil control involved, like, oh, I don't have that mask behind me. Oh, it must be nice. Look at the size of you. Look at the size of your hands. So I had another guy shoot it and recorded him. And my jaw hit the floor because I had him shoot Cheapest, the Millsport, the Terran, and then the Mean. And when he got to the Mean, I was like, holy shit.
They didn't move at all.
Did not move. Scary how that is.
I want one.
Right. So that means we're going to have to move. Because apparently right now, we can't get one.
Yeah.
So if that means we're moving.
Yay!
Yay! So what's interesting about this gun on the BCG, and I take apart all the guns on the video and I compare the BCGs to one another. They actually sell tuning kits for their bearings. Different springs, like to tune to how much lockup you want or need. The gun is they've knocked it out of the park.
Which is really exciting because we were talking about, the adjustability of it, like before you actually had a chance to shoot it. It's quite interesting.
Yeah, and it's proven already. Max Leograndis won with it. So,
does he really need something fancy to win?
I mean, I think he's won for every PCC that's probably out there. So
yeah,
it's impressive. I'll let you guys know when the video's up. It was a ton of fun to shoot, and yeah, if you want a hyper competitive PCC that just doesn't recoil, yeah, it's this one.
Well, this week, not only did you have a chance to shoot that, you got some other stuff done this week out at the range.
Oh, I did. So I'm going to be doing some firearm deer hunting, and so was my father for the first time in forever, and he is taking his grandson for the first time. My nephew, we don't have a child.
Yeah.
So he wanted to go out and let him shoot the shotgun for the first time. My dad hasn't shot a shotgun in, I don't even know how long.
A while.
Yeah. And I had a very quick reminder at how much those sabot rounds
Kick.
Yeah.
Punch.
Especially in a light gun.
Yeah.
I shot a Thompson Center to help my dad sight him in. I shot it. I'm like, good Lord. I let him shoot it. He goes, ooh, yep, I think that one's good enough.
Yeah.
Like, it was cracking. Nephew did pretty good. He actually, his first 36-yard, he hit the little black piece of tape, little 2x2 black piece of tape I had on the target.
And he's 16?
Yeah. Yep, 16, and he was shooting a 20 gauge rifled barrel, little single shot, H&R probably or something.
Something cheap.
Yeah. Had a scope. I didn't have a scope for my first shotgun. That's all I'm saying. I had a brass bead and prayers.
But he did good.
He did very good. Then, shortly thereafter, I had to sight in my shotgun, which is the gun that will be in a video coming up, but it's also the one we've been talking about all episode, which is our 590 with the Woox furniture. So I'm hoping to go for the beauty and brawn, dead brown animal chic look when I'm done.
Well, you didn't even like talk about like the coolest part of that when you were talking about, ooh, boo-hoo, you only had a brass bead, you never had a scope. We don't just have the 590, we have the 590S optic ready.
Yes. So we have the EPS mounted on the receiver, direct mount, green. The Woox furniture, beautiful sling. Yeah, the only thing I had to do, because apparently it's frowned upon, I had to take my flashlight off it, because it is a home defense gun.
And cap out your tube.
Yeah, so interestingly enough, pro tip, we can only have 2 rounds in the tube, 1 in the chamber. And I was going to use a wooden dowel, but I couldn't find one thin enough. I really didn't want to go out to the store to buy one. So I was looking around, and I found out that if you use, so we also have a 20-inch barrel. So we have an 8-round tube gun. If you take one section and a 5.56 brush, like a brass cleaning brush, and one section of a cleaning rod, and stuff it down the tube, it limits you to 2 rounds in the tube and 1 in the pipe.
Right. We needed to get rid of 6 rounds, and 16.5 inches is what we needed, and well, you got it.
'Tis done.
'Tis done.
It's ready to go. And it is sighted in. This gun has blown me away as far as its accuracy. Now, it's regular, it's a choked barrel. I'm using a cylinder choke. It is a freaking laser beam. I'm not using sabots, I'm using rifled slugs. I was using Fiocchi. I shot 2 different ones. I shot Fiocchi and then I shot a Federal Power Shock. Both of which insanely accurate group shooting. Yeah, I was blown away. And much less
Hopefully the
recoil.
deer will be too.
Yeah, that is the goal.
And that's coming up this Friday. You'll be going.
Yeah, I'll be going up Friday. That's a good segue for deer because you actually went for like your first, like, I don't want to say successful because you didn't get a deer.
Right.
But you got to fully experience why most of us love hunting.
Right. So the first trip out was at the edge of a field line in a torn
Shanty.
a shanty of a blind that we basically may as well have been sitting there with a couple leaves over our head.
Yeah. That was cool.
And we didn't see anything but squirrels and sparrows that whole time we were out there. This time, instead of doing the along the edge of the field in a blind, we went into the woods and
So I took you on this one. I took you to the hunting that I love.
mhm,
My family is very successful in this area that we first went by the field, and it's very good. But it is one of two things, or it's two things. One, it bodes well more for firearms because they tend to be longer shots. And I think I've done a pretty good job at teaching you, like, for archery, I'm really selective on when I even think I'm going to shoot. And for you, you've determined right now 20, 25 yards. That's your max radius. That's hard
to get them in that close.
in that position. Like where the field is and everything, generally they end up being 30, 40 yards away.
Mm-hmm.
And with a firearm, that's no big deal. Plus, we have a tree stand set up there. Makes it a little easier. It's very windy down there. And when you're up a little higher, it's easier for you to not have to worry about the wind so much.
Mm-hmm.
But as I've been learning more and more, and you've been learning, as long as you play the wind game, I've also kind of been learning thermals to aid in actually going into the woods to hunt.
Mm-hmm.
So we went out and did what I like to do.
Yeah, this was a far more enjoyable experience than the first time around.
So,
Not, just because we actually saw deer this time, although that did help.
we saw deer.
Yeah, it was. I mean, the reason I wanted to do archery hunting before I ever pick up a firearm for hunting season is just like to the roots of like our ancestors and survival and primitive. Like it just to me,
That have
it's
compound bows.
they did not have compound bows. No, but it's it's quiet. There's no gunshot. There's just I'm not strong enough to use a recurve, like
Uh,
to actually hold a recurve back in position.
most people don't hold recurves back. It's kind of, you're ready. It's a
Unless they deer
more
stare
ready.
you down and you can't move.
Well,
Yeah, it happens. So we did get to see a couple, but we were there for a while.
well,
We were out for about 3.5
how did
hours.
we actually hunt? We didn't even use a blind. I told you what we were going to do.
Yeah, we hunkered down by a down tree. We were like halfway down a hill,
Mm-hmm.
facing towards the bottom of the ravine and looking up at the hill going up to the other side. So,
And why did we do that?
because we were expecting the deer to come down into the lower ravine using thermals. As the cool set in, they would be coming down farther so that they could smell things from up top.
Right. And spoiler alert,
That's exactly what happened.
worked like a charm.
It did work like a charm. It was, we saw nothing when it was warmer, and as the temp started to drop, maybe an hour before sunset, they started coming down. We saw a buck came down. I mean, our timing is so skewed. Like how much time we feel like it was that we were like watching the buck, and we're like, oh yeah, probably like 10 minutes. He walked around, sniffed around. He didn't see us. He didn't look like he was on high alert. It's the rut. He had other things on his mind. And then he wandered his way away. He never got in closer than 42 yards.
And again, I talk about being really adamant about shooting distances and what you're confident with. I'm confident at 35 yards. If he would have been in 35 yards, I would have taken the shot.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, where we were,
A lot of tree coverage on his side of the ravine.
yeah, there was very few areas. Like we had good coverage for us without being in a blind. And, you know, if you play the wind, you don't need fancy shit. We didn't have fancy camo on, no blind, no cover scent,
We were both wearing blue jeans and black hoodies.
and black hoodies. Yeah, nothing crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I'll have to do a better job at clearing more shooting lanes. But I think we might move positions next time. But go on. Yeah, when I was pulling the footage for some of the filming that we did, because I got some pretty good filming of the deer. You saw exactly how long we were watching the deer.
Yeah, I thought for sure, like after the buck left, it was like 5 or so minutes, maybe 10 minutes later, then a doe popped in the same area he did and wandered around. But she was on high alert, and I mean, it felt like we watched her like walk around, stare us down, stomp on the ground, walk around, stare us down, stomp on the ground for probably like
Snuff at us.
yeah, for like maybe 10, 15 minutes. The footage said that she was out there staring us down and eyeballing, side eyeing us for 29 minutes. I was like, wow, there's like time just completely stops
Yeah,
when
it's
you're out there. And it was like, I felt like I was holding my breath for that whole 29 minutes. I'm like, she's seen us. Oh my God. Don't breathe. Don't move. Don't breathe. Don't move. She's looking right at us. She stomps her foot, kind of like turns a little sideways. She kept her distance. She got into about 32 yards,
she got within striking
but
distance,
there
but
was a lot of branches in the way.
I was good. But you remember, she caught me.
Yeah.
She looked right at me, and I was in the middle of leaning back to reposition myself to be able to draw. And she caught me in what was essentially like halfway up, like a 45-degree sit-up position. So
You froze.
you did everything to not laugh.
Yeah.
I'm stuck halfway up in a sit-up. My abs are burning, on fire. I start to see my bow shaking. I'm like, oh my God. She finally turned her head away, and I was able to sit up. But I think she must have heard. I think the kickstand on my bow hit the leaf, and that's when she turned. And then she turned and she knew something was up, so she started doing what most does do, and they change the level of their vision to see if anything's going on. They start bobbing their head very quickly. Now, mind you, we're supposed to be quiet, stealthy hunters. As soon as that doe goes up, down, up, down, up, all I hear to the left of me, where Jaki is, go.
It was the cutest thing. I was like, oh, we've been busted. Like she
And then she stomped her feet, and I'm sure you heard me go, don't you do it. And that was the first time that you heard exactly what a doe makes when they sound the alarm.
Mm-hmm. And after she sounded her alarm, you could hear I mean, I don't know how many there were. It sounded like quite a few of them. As soon as she sounded her alarm, the other does in the other fields and clear, like across the clearing where like there's like heavy tree coverage
Right.
outside of our area, you could hear them all belting out and like doing their call to like continue and pass along the warning signal. It was insane. I mean, there was so much screeching. I'm like, what is going on? Like the woods were absolutely silent outside of the squirrels.
Yeah. Oh, the squirrels.
Those squirrels, I'm telling you, one squirrel will sound like
An
a
army.
an army of deer coming in to the field. Like there's just there was a short amount of time, maybe, I don't know, half hour, 45 minutes. You had trekked up to the top of the ridge along the tree line just to like get a better view of what's going on up there.
And
And you
people
saw
don't
quite a few
realize,
things.
how did I walk up there? Was slowly
Slowly
and with a pattern.
and a lot of stopping.
Right. What did I sound like? Everyone thinks it's bullshit when they're like, oh, it takes forever to get to a stand. What did I sound like?
An
A
animal.
squirrel,
Yeah.
right?
They're
You take
literally
a few steps, you stop. Everyone's like, you're not as quiet as a squirrel. Have you fucking heard a squirrel in the woods?
they're so loud.
They're not quiet.
Like I had this one squirrel during the time that you were gone. I think he ran 2 full laps around me, about 10 yards away from me, a full circle all the way around me twice on the trees, in the leaves. And I'm like, this is supposed to be a quiet experience. You are incredibly distracting. You're keeping me on my toes, and like I was very like hypersensitive to everything.
Right.
So every step that this squirrel took, I'm like, There's a deer. Oh my God, it's that same squirrel. He's burying his nut now that he went and dug up somewhere else.
So proof that it works for me is when I got to the top of the opposite hill at where you were, I get stopped by, he had to have been at least a 12 pointer across the next hill. And then I'm looking down, and then I see an 8 pointer. And then I see 2 doe. I'm like, I'm stuck now. I'm frozen where I'm just standing, not crouched. I'm not even behind a goddamn tree. I'm just there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, oh man. So a trick I do, and you saw it when we first got there, but I did it when I was standing in case I was going to shoot while I was standing. When bucks communicate, they tend to scrape the ground, right? So to create space without leaves for me to move, I will simulate a buck. And 3 minutes later, after I did it, these 2 doe pop out in front of the brush in front of me, 13 yards away. And I'm going, fuck, I don't even have my release on, nothing.
Unprepared.
I go to clip my release on. The doe, the bigger doe, turns and is staring right through my soul. And she sounds the alarm. And then right outside the right side of my vision, I see antlers disappear into a cornfield. I'm like, so I stopped, didn't move. They ran a little bit, be patient. I scrape again with my other foot. 5 minutes later, that 8 point comes back, trying to draw him in. Here we go. And I'm so focused on this buck. I had not realized the little doe did not go as far. And I hear a little rustling to my left. And instead of being smart, I quickly look to my left, which she did not like. Because then she sounded the alarm. And at that point, it was getting so close to, I'm making too much noise, and we're pretty sure there's a bedding area over there I didn't want to push. I was like, I'll go back and sit with you. And I'm telling you the story because I'm already freaking out from everything that I just saw. I'm like, they're right there. Like, they're going to come this way. The plan's going to work. 5 minutes of talking to you at a rather normal volume. 8 point buck right in front of us.
Yeah. He
approached the other side of the hill. He was 70 yards away. So I'm talking to you mid-sentence, and I go, shh. You're like, what? Look. And she's like, oh. And I know, because I've had that feeling for the first time, like, your adrenaline just goes.
Yeah.
Like, he's not even within shooting distance. He's literally over 3 times your distance away. Doesn't matter.
So I hear people talk about like the buck fever and like
The real thing.
the shaky stuff. For me, it was like frozen. I had to remind myself that I was allowed to breathe. Because it was like, don't move, don't exhale too heavily. Just, oh yeah, you still need to breathe, just not too heavily. So like I had to keep reminding myself not to hold my breath, that me breathing was okay.
So didn't shoot one, but learned a lot. You had a blast.
It was a lot of fun.
Ton of fun. Yeah. I can't wait for Friday. Friday, I have a feeling. Had I been in firearm season, or both of us in firearm season, we would have had deer.
Yeah, absolutely.
Confidently would have shot at them.
Yeah.
I can't shoot that far with a bow. I'm just honest with myself on that.
Mm-hmm. And I'd rather be confident in the shot too, and not have to
track this thing for 10 miles. No thanks.
Right. If we even find it.
Right.
So it was a really fun experience. You're going out for firearm season on Friday, which is my birthday, so bring me home some venison.
That is the plan.
And then a week from now, we're gonna probably go up and do some more archery hunting.
Yep.
It should be very exciting. And if we don't get deer on Thanksgiving, maybe we'll get a turkey.
That's also a possibility.
Because there was some turkeys. We heard them as we were getting ready to
Yeah.
pack out.
Packing out, and you're like, "What's that?" I'm like, "That sounds like a turkey."
Yeah, very far away, but you
Yeah.
could still hear them.
Yeah.
So there are turkeys up there. We actually, on our drive up, we saw a bunch of turkeys up in the fields,
Mhm.
probably like 4 or 5 miles before where we went.
Mm-hmm.
So
Ton of fun.
maybe we have tags for both.
We do. So, best of luck to us guys, and well, we'll let you know. We'll talk to you next week. You guys know what to do. Reach out to us, pewtimepodcast@gmail.com, at Laugh and Load on all the thingies. I got anything else? You got anything else?
I got nothing.
All right, talk to you guys next week.
Okay, bye.